You have arrived at the Final Four of Academy Worlds here in beautiful Los Angeles, California. Today, the defending champions aim to take down a challenger on the rise as TSM Academy and Golden Guardians square off. I'm Irving Nabizna III, joined by the Sultan of Style, Alberto Crumbs Rengifo.
It's all the crew. They dressed me.
Looking good. He still didn't wear the white jacket today, though. I swear, it's great. Go back in the early part of the season. Check it out. Today's competitors, however, clash on 9.15, which hosts a few tweaks, but most notably reintroduces Mordekaiser to the pool, right? That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, Mort is back. But the big story today, and this is just a crazy one, TSM Academy is going to be fielding Grig in the top lane. We saw this last week when they played in the quarterfinal matchup against TLA, and he had a pretty stellar performance, actually. It was a 3-0. He busted out the Aatrox playing Metacons, but he also played an Olaf, which is a very lane-dominant champion, something we were not expecting out of him, considering he had only a few weeks of practice. Remember, Grig was the substitute jungler for the LCS Academy just a few weeks ago. And speaking, the LCS team, and speaking of the LCS team.
And substitute junglers.
Yeah, we have, there you go. The jungler for TSM Academy is not going to be Spica. In fact, it's going to be Acadian. The former starter for TSM is now playing the Academy games, where Spica is now going to be playing the LCS match later this week. Acadian has been vocal. He's been practicing for a week with this team, but I have no idea what to expect. We've never seen him play with this team before.
Absolutely. It's going to be absolutely awesome to see what he can put forward as well. A little leadership from him, but also sliding into a team that's kind of had a way to do things already. So we'll see if it synergizes as well. Can't forget as well, lots of little changes for TSM that Treats and Tactical are now in as the main sub position for the starting LCS roster, as well as we go into playoffs in that league.
Pretty exciting for them being given the opportunity to potentially play in both Academy playoffs and LCS playoffs, double dip in that practice. I'm sure they're going to give it their all today on the chance that their performance here might get the coaches of the LCS team a little starstruck and think, all right, these guys deserve some LCS playtime.
Absolutely. So TSM Academy will test their swaps opposite Golden Guardians today, with the winner promoting to the Academy World Finals. They'll face the winner of tomorrow's match, a David and Goliath clash. That is 100 Thieves Academy versus Cloud9 Academy. C9 was able to basically choose that matchup, so they're feeling pretty good. 100 Thieves are definitely going to have to look towards, I feel, the top side of that map to get it rolling in that game.
It's going to be their toughest matchup so far. Cloud9 Academy look like the strongest team in the Academy at the moment, but then you've got these guys on your screen. Golden Guardians, 10-0 currently, have yet to lose a match. If they were to somehow 3-0 this series, they would continue that streak, and I mean, they're looking really good doing it, too, because they got some fire new jerseys, right? The black and yellow.
Those jerseys looking really nice as they get onto the Rift. Well, let's get into the roster rundown and get things rolling. We're starting on the blue side with Golden Guardians Academy. That means in the top lane, it's Darshan, Hard in the jungle, Palafox in mid, Keith at bot with support Ole, and Coach Inero.
And over on the red side for Game 1, it's TSM Academy. You've got Grig in the top lane, Acadian in the jungle, a Blaze Olive on mid, Tactical and Treats on bottom support, and their coaches, Goldman and Frosty.
That's right, a few coach switches as well for TSM. They're switching it up everywhere, but it seems to have not slowed the team down whatsoever as Peter takes a bit more time with the LCS team. Goldman and Frosty now get to handle what's going on with the Academy team. So far, so good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great that you have Goldman now, the assistant coach from the LCS team, helping out the Academy team that has Acadian. Therefore, on the flip side, you've got Peter with the Spica. So, the coaches and their junglers switching sides, making sure that both teams run smoothly.
So, Golden Guardians come into this matchup with a considerable amount of momentum, and a lot of that is coming from their most novice members in their first postseason appearance. So, it's been great to see that from some of the guys in the mid lane.
Yes, and in the mid lane, we have our featured matchup today. We've got Palafox versus a Blaze Olive. And while Palafox's stats are pretty impressive, I think you have to give a lot of credit to the fact that this team has been so dominant in the past few games, really boosting that. Whereas a Blaze Olive and for TSM, you have a much more mid lane focused play style. 75.6 kill participation. It's a huge, huge deal for this team. And a lot of TSM's plays revolve around him, not just for the actual DPS, but in the draft. You usually see him having a lot of priority in either the Azir or Corki, or even going as far as having a counter pick later.
Would expect to see that, and a lot revolves around them in terms of the jungle, Hard and Acadian. We're going to also have to keep our eyes on these two players, as it's a pivotal point for those mid laners to have these players in their back pocket at all times when it starts getting aggressive.
We know that Hard and Palafox have been working really well. You see the stats there on your screen. But my biggest question is Acadian in this match. Now, we know he's going to be a competent player, but what are the synergies with this team? With only a week's worth of practice, is that going to be enough to slot right on in and really understand the dynamic of a new team that has kind of lost their coach, and now having a new coach come into the team and help them out for this semifinals matchup? It's going to be really exciting, because if that wasn't enough, you also have Grig as well. You know, these two junglers were kind of vocal about competing with each other for the jungler spot. They both lost it. They're now playing Academy, and now they're going to have to find a way to reconciliate that and kind of work together.
We'll have to keep a sneaky eye if Grig goes back and keeps stealing Krugs from Acadian. Be like, oh, I can see that. This is definitely not a good relationship here. Just stealing resources. That probably won't happen, though. But the Azir does get banned out. We'd expect to actually, FLICKR, see that in the hands of Palafox, but he does not want to Blaze Olive to be able to pick it up on the first game. Yumi's out of this mix as well. So we may just see the Sivir getting locked in. Trist has been getting a lot more play. Azael 6 next to me, and he did like 6 in a row yesterday on Trist, and he was just making kids sad in the top lane.
Saw him. I was talking to him about the build, because the Blade of the Ruined King build is a lot better for the dueling, but I really felt like the Infinity Edge could have been a bit stronger right now, and I did get confirmation bias by watching FLICKR stream this morning and seeing him build the Infinity Edge in the mid lane as well.
I like it.
There's a lot of different ways to play this champion. I think what we have concluded is that it really just matters about what you're playing up against and what you need to deliver for your team, whether it's split pushing or whether it is grouping up and team fighting. And speaking of, I think Golden Guardians might be trying to make a play for the Corki as a first pick, considering that a Blaze Olive had a game with almost 50% damage share in the quarterfinals matchup.
Hard's gonna get Sejuani. Doesn't look like too many other junglers were focused as well, so Acadian's gonna get his pick of the litter in that choice. We'll have to see. A few of the other power picks are left up for these champions. Still a Jarvan there, so they don't even really need to take something right away if they can get that before first phase is over. And these first two picks could be that bot lane. Without showing too much, we'll see if they get a flex pick in here. Or maybe take the Corki. Right off the bat, feels safe to pick, right?
Aatrox is also available. There really is a lot, and as we've seen in the series of best of so far, game one usually just testing the water, seeing where each team's priorities lie, and playing the safest compositions early is one way to go about it, or just going as wacky as possible. You don't really want to go in between where you're just kind of trying something new, but not necessarily that it's going to trigger bans from your opponents on the next rotation. But Golden Guardians is giving us something very old, but very, very powerful. The Sona Tahm Kench in the bottom lane with the Sejuani. Now the last two picks will just have to be all about boosting that damage.
Yeah, they're going to need to get a little DPS on the side of GGS. The Corki may get locked in on the right for TSM Academy. I like the pickup of Braum, taking that out of the Sejuani comp. If it were to be something that GGS took, it becomes real hard in the fight phase to get away from the crowd control of those two members. And we are into the ban phase. Corki is locked in. Blaze Olive is going to be trying to dish out that DPS once again.
I think Golden Guardians is likely to ban Jarvan here. You want to clinch away at the jungle pool potentially to make sure that things run a little bit more smoothly in the early game. Jarvan can outpressure and outpace the Sejuani early on, and that might be a troublesome area if you're going to be running the Sona. It's not like it's a weak laning phase by any stretch of the imagination. The Sona and Tahm Kench are pretty powerful, but you still don't want to be susceptible to a Jarvan level 2-ing you.
Oh, I was going to say the Camille. We saw Darshan going crazy on that last week in the quarterfinals, but he will not get a chance. Sivir gets locked out, so they actually don't see much of a problem in Acadian here. They can say, hey, take the Jarvan. We have a composition. They can go right back on him with a Glacial Prison, Sona, and a Tahm Kench. We'll see what he does decide. He has a few options, and he could be taking the Silas to give himself a Glacial Prison ultimate.
Remember that Darshan played Gangplank against 100 Thieves in the both teams were undefeated matchup, and that was one where he really popped off. Gangplank would be a really good fit for just boosting that crazy damage, assisting your side lanes with the Gangplank ultimate, and it's pretty powerful, but instead we're going to go with an even more bruisery, engagey kind of pick, early game focus with Darshan, and Sejuani in the top lane makes it a very powerful combination to camp and focus.
I was thinking Renekton, but does this kind of make you weary at if the game starts to go late?
It does not. I really think that Renekton right now is in a very powerful spot because of Spear of Sojin. That item single-handedly allows him to really hit that late game and be very powerful because of the ability to get multiple instances of your stun, stay more sustained with Q, just shred everybody with your Black Cleaver and dash in and out of the team. So,
and if you were worried about damage, there's the last pick of Akali. Big lock in there. We'll see what Palafox can do, hopping all over the map. What is the final one for Tactical? He gets banned away on the Ezreal, banned away on the Sivir. Tristana could, but probably wouldn't have been his, but there it is. Locked on the bot side is the Lucian. Going to be a great combo in that Braum and Lucian for bot side, something we've seen for many, many years now. But it is against that Sona and Tom Kench. Just reluctant. They continue to heal themselves up, and they continue to be a nuisance in that lane.
And they're going to be a nuisance, but they have to be very careful because Tactical and Treats can pop somebody very quickly. The double tap from Lucian, great synergy with Braum, especially at level 1. We might see TSM going for some very early on shenanigans here. You do have the power to do so, but I do wonder what is going to happen in the jungle matchup. Again, Akaadian has not been playing with this team, but you are running the Sylas that has been in the previous 2 patches, a pretty good answer to Sejuani being able to steal that ultimate and essentially turn yourself into Sejuani number 2, just with a little bit better skirmish potential.
That's what always feels so good. So it will be a 4th play for Darshan. It's his most played champion on Renekton. The Sejuani is still up there for hard as we see the rest of the champions still being in that wheelhouse. Palafox's 3rd play on Akali. We'll get a few more as we get into the game. It's going to be a good one. TSM looking strong as they come through. Defending champions looking to keep that title under their belt. Cloud9's hungry for it on the other side of this bracket, but right now it's all up against Golden Guardians, surging through their split, finding some very strong wins at the end, and really able to dominate from just about every lane if it comes down to it. We have seen the top of the map be quite the pressure for in Darshan for GGS, though.
And it's a good pick to take against somebody that you're not expecting him a lot from in the top lane, considering that this is 2 weeks of playing top lane for Grig so far. So this really is Darshan hoping to bully the lane, and he's going to be running, the
Phase Rush.
Phase Rush, yeah, okay. Really trying to chase down the Aatrox.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're going to try to get him Aatrox long lane pushed, you get him to sweet spot all the minions if you really get inside and start slicing and dicing through everything. So maybe he can get Grig to kind of push the lane, and then, like you said, you have that big chase down once you want to get the fight.
And if we're going to be highlighting Darshan's rune, I think we have to look at Grig's as well. We're going for the Airy. Really hoping that he can get some good harass off of those Qs, not looking to commit to trading against Darshan early on. And that's kind of the job you'd expect from him. I think this is a much tougher opponent than what he faced against Team Liquid Academy, so instead he's going to be choosing to play the lane a little bit safer, just try to farm and live.
Quick dances. I like it. No shot? How courteous.
It's interesting that a Blazal... I'm so interested in these runes. He's running Conqueror. You almost never see this on Corki or on range.
Everything
anyway.
just switched.
Oh, whoa.
Take a second look.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Now you're back.
Yeah, I was like, what? I mean, I guess these guys are trying because
we made a really good case for Phase Rush.
Right? We're like, you know what? I'm gonna back him up. That's what he's doing. We're gonna back him up. We're gonna respect the choices, but no, we actually have proper runes now for every single member. This makes way more sense. Conqueror for everybody. No Conqueror in the mid lane for Corki. It is going to be Kleptomance.
Yes. He's going to get himself some gold. Already has a ward for himself. Nicely done. Vision towards top side. He's going to see Akaadian as they start things off. nobody really having too much of an advantage. We'll watch both the CS of Keith and Ole on the bot side to make sure they keep it going. A little heal up from Acadian as he keeps himself rolling and damage onto this Raptor camp so he can heal, attack, and just rinse and repeat.
And both these teams are going to be actually really happy to just farm. You've got a team with Sejuani, Sona that is happy to scale, and then on the flip side you have a Corki that is never sad the later the game goes on. So I'm not expecting a lot of action early on, considering that it's also pretty hard to gank most of these lanes except for the top lane matchup. Yep. And because both junglers started in the bottom side and both teams are aware of it, it's quite likely that that just results in a stalemate.
Movement towards top here. See if they can get a flash out of Grig to start things off. I do not expect the kill to happen right off the bat. That's a few hits. They get a good stun onto him. The follow-up damage comes through, down to about 100 HP, and there it is. The call does hit, and they have more than enough damage to say goodnight to Grig for first blood.
I was so wrong. No stalemate there. It's complete action in the top lane. You had Acadian going for the double camp, and at the same time, Hard sees an opportunity to go into the bottom lane. Oh, a Devour. That's a big move.
Oh, it's a good stun on concussive blows. They're going to get him to turn around. Tactical actually flashes as well in the situation. Thinking a few more shots could get him out, maybe a heal, but it's not going to be enough. Treat's now in a real bad spot. The lockdown comes in, the Devour back up again, and here comes that kill for the bot lane. One for each now as it teleports here. This is not a good situation. A quick relentless pursuit, however, slows that pacing down for the bot side. 3 kills for the side of Golden Guardians, 4 minutes in.
TSM's bottom lane learning the hard lesson why Ole's Tahm Kench has been so banned in the LCS.
Yeah, we'll see
and the top lane fight, you know, you've got Renekton and Sejuani, such a powerful duo. The ability to proc that stun is so quick. And this was just tactical overstepping a little bit. Without his passive available, he wasn't able to proc the stun on Tahm Kench quickly enough to extend the distance, and then it was just all too easy. Look at TK, just how obnoxious this champion is.
Walking forward, no problem. Flash for flash, so remember a lot of summoners were used on the bot side. Expect a few jungle approaches here coming from Acadian now as he keeps himself farmed. I think there's a turret shot there for Palafox. Gets himself a little in.
Treats even burned his Ignite out of spite. Like, you know what? Ah.
Oh, he's going down.
Yeah, as he's going down.
Maybe he'll come under the turret. Oh, the things you hope, the things you wish for. But yeah, that's summoners up for Keith. Unsealed Spellbook for Ole, but still waiting on the summoners to come back up as we get TPs into mid, so TP's down there. And then top laners still have their summoners up.
And at least Grig has actually done a pretty good job in farming still, keeping up in CS, not being phased out by that dive, and didn't even have to burn the teleport to make it back into the lane. So really doing a good job of salvaging what was at least appeared to be a pretty detrimental first kill to give. And as you see now, as the wave continues to crash, you need Acadian to be up there to help him out, just in case Sejuani would be there on the map. They don't have vision of her, so he has to be somewhat scared and pushing in that way.
A little bit of vision from mid lane now. Scryer's going to see that ward they just placed. Being able to deny vision right away on such a scared TSM lane is really going to stop the amount of pressure they want to put in, the amount they want to step forward for the extra damage. You can see an ardent blaze just to hit the CS there as they get every last ounce of resource out of the lane.
Yeah, especially for Illusion, somebody that wants to be ahead out of the laning phase.
Yeah.
Losing those kills, having to burn the teleport right away, is really not optimal for this pick, and it's going to result in a lot more inactivity in the bottom lane. But luckily for them, First Dragon's only a Cloud Drake, so I don't think that Golden Guardians is going to break their back trying to make the most out of the pressure in the bottom lane.
2 kills there for Ole, not too bad. Now you have to super separate them between the Sona and the Tahm Kench. They're both raking in the gold right now. And the CS is about 54 to about 56, so beautifully done on that. Tactical and Treats keeping up, even though they got taken out of lane, they should actually be up a little bit, but you can consider those kills in the favor of Golden Guardians, really causing TSM to play a little more tentative. Acadian finding his paths around Hard, though. He is able to deny red buff here, and he may make a little trip down towards the bot side if he sees Hard on the top now.
Hard has showed on a ward, which allowed him to go for the invade, even though their bottom lane did not have an ability to collapse. But he hasn't stolen an ultimate yet, so it's not going to be a crazy gank in the bottom lane. If he had seen the Sejuani, he would be able to actually attempt to go for this play. That's a good one, though, Sona.
Ooh. I feel like somebody could have closed in for a fight there. A lot was happening and not a lot of movement. Maybe they just want to relieve a bit of that pressure on the bot side. Great escape from Greg as both of the GGS members going very hard. Dominus pop by Darshan, and that's going to say, hey, we have a lot of potential on the bot side now. This is our Cloud Drake.
The opportunity cost of going for the red buff in the bottom lane gank for Acadian is Grig getting completely denied. He has no reason to step back up. You know that Sejuani is up there, and it looks like a dive might be thought of right now. Here we go.
It's already a few plates here. They'd be able to pick up number 3, but no dive. I like the choice. There weren't enough minions. A refresh wave here, but pulled a bit out by Hard's escape. Looks like they're just going to mill about on the top side here, hopefully getting a few more of this inside the jungle, maybe?
Hard really needed to hit that level 6 to be able to go for that play, and because he took so long dilly-dallying around the top lane, now you got Acadian.
Oh, there's the Sona crescendo onto Hard. They're going to follow up the wall for sure to take him down. And that's going to be first blood. I felt like the rest of GGS were coming in, and as soon as TSM saw them exit, they said, hey, Hard's going for red. Let's collapse.
I think Darshan and Palafox were actually correct in retreating from that play. It was Hard who missed the window of opportunity to go for the red buff. He took way too much time going for that gank. Remember when we cut the camera to the top lane and we just saw Darshan clearing the wave? That should have been the time for Hard to go for it, because the second that the dragon is completed, you know that Acadian is facing and going straight for the red buff. The second he saw it being hit, he ultied right away. He knew what was up, and it was that Hard took too long to make the play, and he capitalized on it really well.
Good vision from Acadian coming in, feeling like he can get a little bit more eye on the jungle. Great Devour. This is going to be a very low Sona coming out, though, and it is a dead Sona. Keith goes down. Shots out of Ole as the gray health comes up. Hard's here for a bit of protection. The rest of TSM will now start to retreat as Treats and Tactical picking up the power in that lane they have had from the beginning.
The lane got so much easier for the Lucian once he picked up that Cutlass, being able to lifesteal and also offer another way to chase you down in the bottom lane. Makes it a really deadly combination now, and so Keith and Ole still have to respect the fact that this lane, even though they got the 2-0, is still as deadly as ever in their all-in potential.
What was this all-in potential? Oh, the minion wave.
And the double glacial fissure.
Yep, double glacial into the stun. I love when Brahms play with the minion wave as well. You step up, trying to keep it off the turret. That's a perfect initiation for Treats to go in on. Level 6 is across the map. Things are going to get a bit scary. Hard. I was going to say, he just went down. Going down right now would be tough. Got to stay on the map for experience. You got to be scaling with the rest of the team. It's a level 8 Acadian right now to a level 6 Hard in the jungle. Acadian is zooming.
Look at the CS discrepancy. 46 to 82. Obviously, in the jungle, it's not a direct minion-to-minion comparison, but it's still about 800 gold up for Acadian. And that was the inactivity that Hard made in the top lane. So let's see what Acadian can really do with this, because the next dragon is going to be an Ocean, and that's the dragon that you do want to have when you're up against Sona and you have that Corki on your side as well. It will make a pretty big difference for you.
Big spend in the top side. Greg has what could help for this next Drake attack, but it is going to be Darshan needing to go back. Has about 1,200 gold to spend, 1,300 in the side of a Blaze Olive they've been hanging out in mid lane with. So everybody's keeping each other at the party for now in this laning phase and not allowing them to go back for the second buy. This might be a time that they tempt that, though. Low health for both Blaze Olive and Palafox as Acadian is seen on a ward here in mid lane. No ultimate for him. He's going to steal Palafox's, but it would be a real quick one if he came back around with that perfect execution.
It is a pretty cool ult to steal for Silas, but I think it's going to be a lot safer for him to just go for the engage tool, because you don't have any on this side of TSM. That's why you drafted this Silas, to be able to imitate the engage tool that Golden Guardians has, and you have the carries that fulfill all the damage you need with your Lucian and Corki anyways.
Acadian has been a busy man. Rift Herald in his pocket as well, as he continues to just wipe through the jungle. As soon as he got the skirmishers upgrade, he has been in Hard's jungle, back to his, and stealing every camp that's coming up on timer. good vision wards on the side of TSM let them know that Golden Guardians has no idea where TSM is coming as they enter and exit through the river. This is going to be Rift Herald down in mid now, and it's going to be quite a bit of plays, at least down to one. They may be able to clear that last one off this wave.
TK and Sona are roaming from the bottom, and they did threaten to collapse faster than Tactical and Treats, and so Blaze Olive and Acadian do have to back off, happy to just get some money under their belt.
Little tussle on the top side. There's going to be too much turret damage coming through. He may try, though. Grig's going to get a lot of shots there, heated up onto Darshan. And now he does have to back off. I like Darshan pushing the limits on that one. Oh, maybe the assist. He gets out of it anyway. Glacial Prison coming in from hard to take down Grig after a nice escape.
Nothing fancy for hard, just chucking that ultimate out, securing that kill, and that's going to be the first tower of the game that's going to be going over to Golden Guardians, even though TSM were the ones to get that Rift Herald. So snowballing the top lane, really picking the best lane to go for when you know that that is the biggest mismatch.
Blade of the Rune King used on Ole, forced the flash. Oh, the crescendo steal once again. Like you said, the initiation steal's coming through. Turret plating is going to fall. Last plate dropped on the top side, so that's going to be 5 for Darshan. I believe a few may have been grabbed by Hard there, but he already has his Spear of Sojourn. You can see a good amount of cash. He has 6,400 gold altogether to the 3,900 right now. Grig, a fight over on to Palafox, and he is going to go down fast. They are out of there with more kills on the side of TSM now. It's 4-3 overall.
And they're going to be able to get an objective out of this. So while Golden Guardians continues to focus on getting Darshan ahead, Acadian is capitalizing on the fact that Hard is not on the bottom side of the map. Finds the ultimate in the bottom lane, translates it to a pick and mid, and now with an Ocean Dragon, even though the laning phase is about to be over, it is going to be a dragon that will benefit the TSM team, not only with the poke, but against Sona. And let's see how this all began. A nice little juke by Palafox, but then decides to just go back on in, thinking that, you know what? I had a nice play. Let's see if I can outdo myself.
Yeah, there's no vision in the river, so as soon as he saw the Braum coming up behind with the vault door out, he's like, oh, I didn't want to ultimate in there right away.
His first instinct was correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if Acadian misses most of his crowd control to start that one off. You're like, I can run around freely. Take that fight, but Palafox stripped there quickly. And it looks like he will be not too far down in CS, able to clean up in mid, but now it's going to become share CS time with lanes as they rotate around. Palafox grabs bottom against the Blaze Olive. Going to see if he can work this long lane against the Corki now to see if he can get an advantage.
This could be a positive situation for Golden Guardians. Having Tom Kent in the middle lane allows him to ultimate to the side lanes a little bit faster, collapse quicker than Treats and Tacticals, and maybe create a man advantage, but they should wait out this package. Corki is just way too strong at level 11 with a package Infinity Force completed right now.
Oh, Grig's not having a good day. We know the Renekton is basically a movement counter to the Aatrox. The damage can be similar if you hit all the spells, but you're basically never in the sweet spot as the Renekton. So it's going to be hard for Grig. It has been hard. And we are definitely seeing Darshan put that power into the top lane. Teleport's now coming in. It's Grig coming off the base. They're trying to get right onto that spot where Aatrox will get in. One sweet spot hit onto 3. He's able to follow now Palafox. Palafox goes down in the same spot. Deja vu for him as he tries to get another escape down. And Ole now clearing out the minions so TSM can't get more out of the play. I love the thought there by the support off the fight, knowing more could happen as a result.
And Darshan did not teleport into that play. Instead, he just tried to walk and hope to make it faster than Grig. Unfortunately, it was TSM that really was able to turn things around. And since Hard had his ultimate flash for, Treats had a really good opportunity to continue to chase, and that's the power you see with when you run the Braum and when you run these bruisers and carries that can proc your stun just so quickly. And you see that the Acadian ultimate steal is really very powerful in engaging because you now have so many carries behind you. You don't need to have the Sejuani. You can do just what she does, but even more in the damage department.
A lot of wards were...
I've seen that background before.
Little vision placed inside of Golden Guardians jungle as TSM made their encroachment in last fight. You can see Acadian working around that vision right now as he waltzes his way out across the river. Bot lane's actually going to be grabbed up by Grig now. That was a Blaze Olives just a second ago, so it looks like they'll trade back a second. A Blaze will now take the top side of the map. And we'll see what this pressure creates for us. We still have another 2.5 until Baron comes up, so I expect to see some big fights between mid and bot here.
I think we might see even a fight for the Dragon over anything else, because there's still no Mountain Dragons. Both these teams would obviously love to have that objective to pressure Barons or pressure turrets, and Golden Guardians would like it even more, having Darshan slip into the sidelines. But Akaden engages again, 1v3.
Triple crescendo. Nobody's there to follow up for the show, though. It sounded real well. The crescendo back. You can do anything, you can do better, says Ole. And Treats. Looks like they're trying to get into the fight. Keith now sustaining up, but he has to get out of this one. Oh no, slowed by the concussive blows. The follow-up comes through. That's another one for Acadian. The top lane's being pushed, but Akali isn't the quickest split pusher, and TSM is definitely taking advantage on this.
And that was really good from Acadian to engage on that, because Golden Guardians was 100% not ready. Palafox did not have his teleport. That's what he was not in that fight. He was just pushing the top lane. Golden Guardians, again, their first instinct was correct. Just retreat, get out of this situation. But instead, Acadian continues to chase them down, and then Darshan teleports in when there's nobody and just gets popped right away. There's no damage dealers. These three members do not do the damage at this stage for Golden Guardians. They need Akali in the mix, and so when they get chased down and decide to turn, they quickly realize, wait a minute, what are we supposed to turn with?
Those were the first three locked in, right? We said this team needs damage.
They need damage.
You can't have those three alone unless you're just doing a warding mission. You see the gold across the board. Bounties now on TSM. A standing gold that can be picked up along with their turrets, but right now TSM has a great idea of how they want to push this advantage forward. Again, Greg towards that bot side, and Ocean Drake in 4 seconds. And with Greg coming back and most of GGS top, this is another Drake that's uncontested.
And it's definitely going to be the trend for a while, because Golden Guardians need to ramp up, and they're going to have to either commit to the split pushing or get enough items in their carries and the Stunner to be able to actually 5v5. But at this stage, they're a little bit too far behind. Whoa. We got a spider on the set.
Spider friend on the desk. Elise, the 11th player in game. 20 minutes coming up on the clock. Don't get distracted or anything. 34.3 to 35.8. Looks like GGS is having a hard time even protecting their jungle now. The abscond, the abduct, the steal from Acadian, and that's going to be the fight out of Darshan. Will they be able to get this red buff? Is it the fight that's worth it for TSM? That's a member down for GGS as TSM goes forward. The package coming in from a Blaze Olive is going to split the team up nicely as they try to find one more member to take down. And they cannot. It's just Keith that's the secondary as TSM take control of the map again and now have eyes on Baron, which just spawned.
They'll be easily able to do this, and I gotta say, Acadian has been killing it this game, going for so many initiations that the rest of the team is ready to follow him up on, and it catches Golden Guardians by surprise every single time. They're not prepared to have Sylas be so aggro, and to have a Braum, and to have the Aatrox ready to back him up. Now you got a Baron, and this is a team that they're going to be able to steal another big ultimate and go for a tower dive or go for whatever engage they feel like. As gold that was on Golden Guardians was mostly on Darshan. Nobody else was ahead.
The time to walk in. Not many wards are even placed here for GGS to see.
Look at this flash that Acadian's going to go for right now. Flashes out of the crescendo beautifully. That might have actually saved his life and saved the play a little bit more, but even if that didn't happen, TSM was faster to collapse on that play. Everybody was ready to go, and it's really different to see this because we were never used to Acadian in LCS having so much backup from the rest of the team on the plays that he'd go for, but this time around, it seems like whatever he does, everybody's ready to follow.
Yeah, it'd be big initiations. You'd see something coming from the bot lane with Smoothie and the rest of everything else from the top and Broken Blade. But you're right, Acadian definitely on the forefront of a lot of these plays, feeling comfortable to be in situations by himself. And as you were saying, the team can take some time to get in. Big bounties now on those inventories. You see Blaze Olive pushing down towards the bot side. Across the map, it's still pretty strong for GGS. Their fight is not coming together as they would like, though. Figure if they did have that Braum on the bot side and with the Sejuani, maybe something else in AD, it'd be that fight you were looking for, but with a bit behind in power. Makes it kind of difficult. A bit behind in turrets makes it hard to set up your wards that stay for the rest of the game. A lot of the vision that GGS has right now is around Baron. They're fighting down in the back half of their map, so you can see just how quick they're being made to do the next thing without having time to set up. And TSM is happy to wait for a wave, too. They have the Baron buff. Nobody's even coming in a side lane. They're just going to keep going at it and peppering this mid turret.
And they're more than happy to 1-4 here, because Grig was kind of the focus fire for Golden Guardians. He's really not worth much for the team besides the occasional crowd control, and he doesn't even have his death stance completed. It's not like he's very strong. By taking away the Akali, you really weaken the Golden Guardians lineup way more than the TSM 4-man squad is.
I'd like to see his TSM in the early game not go hungry. I guess you'd say go for things as if they were hungry. They didn't push themselves into any kind of dire situations. They didn't think they were behind as it was 3-0, which some teams will. You go for too many kind of dangerous dives, you find yourself in a bad spot, and then you are forced to go hungry, if you will. But
go hungry.
Cacadian was saying, no, I'm gonna wait. Grig, are you okay on the top side? Grig was able to then absorb the pressure. We did see tactical retreats go down. Acadian didn't seem like he had to repair that. A lot of the lanes picked up themselves before Acadian really had to do too much work, which I feel like left him to roam free on the map and get this huge lead.
Yeah, it did a lot because he took advantage of hard committing to making plays elsewhere, and then used that lead to get the rest of the team ahead. So now we have a conundrum in breaking the base with this Baron, as Golden Guardians is grouping up while TSM was trying to make the most of their Baron.
Oh boy. Grig's been able to live through most of this. They're trying to get that ultimate out so he can't use it during the fights. So far, good for GGS, but they've also lost dominance on Darshan, which is a very big one. Back to split pushing lanes. They're having tactical now, split alone, as they can protect mid lane. Remember, there's 3 teleports on each side. Unsealed spellbook as well for Ole if he wants to make it somewhere on the map. And it looks like as we see the vision on the side of GGS, they don't know where TSM's coming from. All I see is tactical, and with just seeing the marksman, you can assume there's a whole hell of a lot of people on the other side of that wall.
Especially because TSM was so diligent in clearing out the mid lane turn before they went for this, and now they're gonna go for Ole.
That's Crescendo back, but Ole goes down immediately. The minion wave is slowly coming in. Baron's off right now for the team, so they're not going to have that buffed up just yet. There's a push from Darshan on the bot side, but this is not enough power from GGS that can stop the inhibitor from going down, and Darshan is still working on that second tier turret. Looks like he will stay to play there, but he may come back after this, knowing that TSM will be heading back to their own base.
That is just Darshan getting the only thing that Golden Guardian could have got at that trade.
Right?
There's no way you defend the tower right there if you lost Ole. Such a crucial member in keeping your Sona alive. So he's at least getting something back for the team, but all in all, they lose the top inhibitor and they lose a lot of control of vision in the bottom side of the map. Take another look at the mini-map and you see that it's so much red for TSM. That entire vision is just clear except for that little ward in the camp. And so now, if Golden Guardians wants to get back to Baron, which is going to spawn in a minute, they need to do a lot. They need to use their sweepers, they need to use their scryers, blooms when they don't see TSM. And that process is not something that takes a long time. And here it takes a long time, sorry. And so you see Ole kind of going for it now when they know that TSM is away. But this is as far as it's gonna go, because when TSM returns to this scene, they're gonna sweep it out, and then they're gonna have to do it all over again. Golden Guardians is in a really dire situation here with that top inhibitor down, as it's always gonna need somebody to attend.
And you can never do anything for free, right? It always takes you time. It costs them a Cloud Drake on that just to sweep out the ward. So you can see the trade they're taking, it's an investment that you hope pays off. And here, they're starting to put their money where their mouth is. GGS on the side of TSM, and the teleports are going to be coming in. That's Grig. Ultimate already down as he tries to be the world ender on this, and the whole team says, not right now. We can get Grig's ultimate out again and then return to the fight. Dominus once again used, and they are just tempting each other back and forth. I'm trying to figure out each time whose little ult down back and forth game is going to benefit in this. I think it's really once the flashes start being accidentally blown is when somebody's going to start that engage.
Darshan's got a ton of cooldown reduction, so I think he's not going to be too phased by using his ultimate right now. But now we've got TSM looking to potentially rush this Baron. The teleport is revealed on the map. This should mean that Golden Guardians is very aware that TSM is around this area and looking for something big.
See if Ole can get in for one of the Tom Kench specials and smite steal. The whole team can make it. I like the fact that Tom Kench can do it because you almost have the 2 health bars in gray health and still stay in there for a bit of the fight, but they got to go fast. It's going to be quite a bit of damage going down right now into Baron. They don't even get a chance to look at it, and Darshan now is definitely setting up in base. The rest of the team is going to get themselves into position, and it's going to be all waves crashing in here when TSM come back, and GGS have their work cut out for them.
They have reset, and now you get the rapid fire cannon, not just on the Corki, but on Lucian too. The siege power is very real here because the wave clear for Golden Guardians is not that great. I think they don't even need to 1-4 here. They could probably just march straight down the mid lane, pop one inhib, rotate to the top one that is going to be spawning in the minute and 45, which should be about the time it takes TSM to take down the first mid inhibitor.
Great job by all the lanes from TSM this game. Greg absorbing the pressure on the top, and that's a normal thing we see as well. A new member on a team, that is the member the opposing team will focus. Less synergy, less time to kind of be with the team in that position, but they tried to work that towards the top side of the map overall. No effect on this one as TSM just kind of brushed their shoulder off towards that strategy and now have their own pace and is at the front door of GGS's base. Coming up on 30 minutes, 10-4 in a game that started off 3-0 for Golden Guardians.
Now the 3-2 is happening with TSM. They don't want to split up too much. You have carries. You are really far ahead. You've got a 7,000 gold lead, and most of it is on the Renekton for Golden Guardians anyway, so I think that TSM is really happy here to not get engaged on.
Well, they are going to, so they better do it smiling anyways. Greg comes out of the Zanyas. Acadian's very low. He's got to be careful on this one. He's got a Crescendo to use back as well. Might try it now as he's got a few members, but it actually only hits Keith on that. Oblazala very low. Darshan just gets knocked up. He was on the heels of a kill, but he cannot lock it down. 2 members of GGS are already down as the rest of TSM is trying to clean up the kills. Those low health bars of GGS are just falling, and Ole is about to be next as he gets caught by Acadian. 4-0-7 on the Silas as the rest of TSM has their eyes on the prize. And sub 30 minutes, they're going to put that work on the Nexus turret. Crumbs, it's going to be a very good game for GGS to start, but TSM will end it in their favor and take the Game 1 victory.
And they will also take the Golden Guardians 10-game win streak. No longer a thing, and this is a very explosive TSM. I think that Acadian did so well for them.
Yep.
In the top lane, Greg, I think, did a really good job holding his own. He made sure that, yep, I'm going to get camped. Yep, I'm going to fall behind. But it doesn't matter. I think the rest of the team is doing a really phenomenal job in picking so many fights that Golden Guardians were not prepared to respond to. Acadian was the instrument in making all that happen, stealing so many crescendos. Forget about Sejuani ultimate. Crescendo hits everyone.
Yeah, like you said, he had a lot of those ultimates to use, and ultimately a 14-4 score as we get back into these replays. Golden Guardian get 3 quick kills in the early game, and if you just heard me say 14-4, if they only got three kills here, that means they got 1 the rest of the game.
When you put it that way, it sounds a lot uglier, Riv.
It's rough. Here are those 3, though.
It was solo kills in the bottom lane, which was the most impressive of all. You thought that the Lucian and Braum would be a little bit more defensive against this composition, but Ole played it super well. They were able to take these down, but even after this, Treats and Tacticals did come back to take down Keith in the bottom lane and constantly force summoner spells. So really a good testament to their mental fortitude. All right, we fell down 1, 2 kills each, but we can still crush this lane. We know our strength.
And I think the communication as well, as I was speaking, worked around that super well. Cadian wasn't made to combat and repair anything there.
He did his thing.
He made a few appearances top lane to say, Grig, all right, we can relieve pressure so you're not getting dove over and over, which he still did and absorbed, but it was in the mid game. TSM skirmish around the map. They were really able to take control of it and make sure those lanes got out safely to say, hey, here are our kills now.
Yeah, this is huge from Cadian, and you see also that Golden Guardians just does not have damage at this point. And they're fighting a 4v5 if that wasn't enough. The big discrepancy was that they took this fight not knowing that Palafox's teleport was not available. He was out there pushing the top lane happily. There was no need to commit the Renekton teleport in here. They had kind of made a getaway, maybe lost a few members in the mix, but it should not have been that bad.
Yeah, and you see what the chaos of a game can continue to do. There's so many things then at that point for Golden Guardians to think about. Our next replay shows TSM at GGS's red buff, I believe, fighting for that 3-0. Yeah, and Acadian walks in and stole it. You see the vision encroaching in. Wasn't any of GGS's. So they did not see TSM.
Acadian is there once again, but notice that Darshan goes down before Olay and Keith are actually involved. So it's TSM getting a man advantage immediately. It's TSM having more members ready to fight before Golden Guardians can do so. So when Golden Guardians looks back on this game, they need to think, how did we lose those many fights? Well, we never were fighting on an even footing. We were always taking fights that TSM was starting. We've heard from many coaches before. That is what determines a lot of the game nowadays. Who can engage on their own terms and how decisive can you be? And I'm really liking this look from Acadian, which feels like you might have been liberated to just do your own thing and we'll have the team back you up.
And I love seeing teams as well. I'm going to say I love, it's a great strategy to play the Sona Tom Kench. You look at it, you get a win with that, and it's not something a team wants to play against again. You can usually buy yourself a ban or two. Coming out of that, you take that synergy away. So Golden Guardians as well, kind of throwing their hat in there saying, we're going to flex a little bit on this first one with the Sona Tom Kench. If it works, then you are going to be up the creek without a paddle, and you're going to have to ban one of them. So,
I think you spot on with the game one approach from Golden Guardians there.
So we'll see what they can do coming into 2. Acadian there on your screen feeling pretty good as he slots in here with the Academy team. It has to feel great for him as well to have a game in this situation where he was expected to pop off.
He's got a good thinking man pose. Just, what should I do next?
Great. Now he just needs a beard. You know how much better that would be with a beard? It's like when a caster's up here, you're like, I'm 10% smarter if I'm holding a pencil. Look at now. You believe everything I say.
I should bring my glasses next time.
So we are about to head for a break. But when we come back, it's game 2 of Golden Guardians Academy versus TSM Academy. Don't go anywhere.
Stay here.
If I ever saw Bjergsen in the audience, you don't know how hard I'd smurf.
You'd go 50-0. You'd GGS hard smurf?
I'd go 50-0.
Few hits. They get a good stun onto him. The follow-up damage comes through down to about 100 HP. And there it is, the call.
4 seconds, Lucian.
Kill this guy. Kill this guy. Charge TP. Like, can I kill?
Come. He's into Johnny. They're all f***ing dead. They're just running down.
I'm gonna go bot. Can we kill Soda?
2 members of GGS are already down as the rest of TSM is trying to clean up the kills. Those low health bars of GGS are just falling.